Hey everyone, James here from TDB, bringing you another Inbetweenisode. Today, going to be talking about a old favorite of ours, especially of Denny's, and one that we actually recently did an episode on. But I wanted to do a Inbetweenisode on this too, just so I could share a few additional thoughts to it. And this is the 2007 Xiaguan Xiao tool. Xiaguan is a factory not necessarily known for making a ton of ripe tea or anything like that. Far more known for kind of the raw tool chas, like this one's famous, the Jiaji. You can see we have some blue ones behind me, some yellow boxes too. So definitely a factory that is, of the big two factories, is definitely far more known for raw, whereas Monghai has a long history with ripe and stuff like that. Not that Xiaguan has ever not made ripe. They've made ripe for a very long time as well. They're just a little bit less well known for it. But this is one of those that you'll see floating around now and then. Xiaofa tool. People say it was originally for export to France, of all places. Very random fact. But this one, 2007, we brought on the 2007 before too. This one is from Taobao. A friend, Garrett, was actually putting in an order, and he was buying a set of these, and I decided to tack on and say, hey, can I grab one of those from you? Just figuring it would be interesting to revisit this one. Not a tea I've tried in probably the last 6 or 7 years. I suspect Denny has always been a little bit more of a fan of this tea than I have, but I've always enjoyed it. And so was kind of curious to give it a revisit. And so I've been drinking it slowly throughout the week. I've finished probably 2/3 of this tool now. So just breaking into it each day, doing 8.5, 9 grams. And it's interesting, especially because now I am a regular ripe drinker, where I'm drinking ripe just about every day. And my regular tea diet of those is stuff like Xiaguan tea, as well as Monghai Tea Factory tea. And I think as a result, I have really come to really like kind of like the heavier, very robust tasting teas. The Monghai County stuff tends to be nice, got a good punch to it, good body and stuff like that. And Xiaguan stuff, I really like kind of like that thickness and that heaviness of those brews. And so coming to something like this, frankly, I have found it to be maybe not quite up to the par of those other things. And I think I like it just a little bit less than I like kind of more regular brews. So, but been drinking it throughout the week. And it's, I think one of those reasons is it's a tea that falls off a little bit faster than those other two teas. It's also not as robust. So as a result, I have kind of settled into something that I'm enjoying a little bit more, just in terms of pushing it a lot harder compared to kind of what I would normally do for ripes. So just brewing it a lot longer, and maybe not being resigned to the fact that I'm not going to get a ton of brews out of it, but I would rather have those brews be high quality than get a higher quantity and they're a little bit worse. So anyways, this is something like brew number 4 or 5, but brewing it longer than I normally would for those. So yeah, you can see here. Cheers. Yeah, even then, it's very soft, creamy. This is one that Denny has noted sort of like cherry notes in the past. Don't get that really at all here. Maybe, I feel like once upon a time this had some vanilla notes too, but not getting a ton of that either. It's very, very drinkable. Definitely kind of your definition of a workhorse tea here. Okay, so let's brew this too. Make sure to brew it for a while. Yeah, so one of those teas where I'd probably recommend going like 10 to 15% over as far as like leaf to water, as well as 10 to 20% over as far as like brew time, and still even probably not quite expecting to get as many brews out of it as you would maybe a little bit higher quality ripe tea, so like a Monghai Tea Factory tea, for instance. So I guess when it comes to ripe, I really do fall into Monghai Tea Factory, or into the fan club of that particular company. I just think they make really good ripes, and I'm a fan of just their very, very routine production, stuff like the 7572, 7262, that sort of thing. Cheers. Yeah, it's not bad. The body is mostly there, but I do think it's a little thin compared to even the 0562 that I've been drinking recently as well. Yeah. So let that go just a little bit longer. Kind of has this nice sort of like, I don't know, sticky rice, sort of like sticky texture to it too. That's kind of nice. All right, yeah, so I could tell that this tea already starting to run out of steam here. So brewing kind of a dark red. So I'm a little bit worried this brew is going to be somewhat disappointing. I was hoping it would be a little bit darker, but I don't want to steep forever while I'm on camera. Cheers. Yeah, just starting to weaken a bit. So I think this is probably kind of the ideal tea if you're doing like a quick tea session and you don't necessarily want to get maximum brewage out of a tea. Because like honestly, I think if you do 3 or 4 steeps of this, I think you're going to get kind of the essence of it already. So difficult one to rate in that sense because it kind of is very solid for a few steeps and then it just really does fall off. But even in those few steeps, I think I probably prefer Monghai Tea Factory. Yeah, it's just a little too thin. Just not really for me. So I'm gonna give this a 5.2 rating. It's good. It's not going to get a glowing endorsement from me though. So, but let me know if you agree more with Denny or myself. Denny, we had this tea in an episode. He still really likes it. So, I think it's just my preferences have sort of gravitated towards other stuff. Totally drinkable tea, just not really my cup. So thank you all for tuning in. I will see you all next time. Cheers.